looking for 3 in a row over the 49ers. San Francisco has dropped 13 of the last 15 to Seattle, and they'll attempt to reverse the trend next.
The onset of fall weather, certainly a welcome occurrence for folks in Silicon Valley. And we've got football on a gorgeous day here in Santa Clara as we are situated at Levi's Stadium. Today we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. The 49er offense coming out here for the first time, led by their quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo. Garoppolo, 5th season with the 49ers, 8th overall in the National Football League.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
And that is incomplete. Well, this rivalry, Charles, the Seahawks and Niners, really one of the best in the NFL. So many great games in the last decade or so between these two. Where does this one rank for you in terms of best rivalries of, let's say, the 21st century?
I'm so glad you phrased it that way because we look back on some of the best rivalries in the NFL. We're talking about traditional rivalries.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. For Brandon Ayuk, he is as electric as they come with the ball in his hands in the open field, and he turns that catch into big yardage.
And that should serve as a big warning to this defense. They know now that they have to stick close to these receivers because they have the ability to break games wide open after the catch. And that one wound up in the end zone.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And the 49ers grab a 7-0 lead. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. So here come the Seahawks now for their first drive. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game. Almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, the other team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be second down. The numbers for him from a week ago, 23 carries, 135 yards, and a touchdown.
How about the first month of the season for him? He leads the league in rushing, so you know his confidence is at an all-time high, which means his offensive line loves it too. They'll get more opportunities to run block for him.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Pushing through the contact.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
But I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Back out there comes the 49ers offense, ready for their second drive. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. And that will be incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible. So I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Powers through. And he's going to have this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Niners' 38. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. They'll set up a throw. That's complete to DK Metcalf. Touchdown, Seahawks. DK Metcalf, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead is now 10-7. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it all culminates with a Seattle score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. In last week's game for Kittle, there are the numbers. 6 catches, 67 yards. Looking to throw again on second down. Garoppolo. And he caught it up. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free. Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free. Unable to corral him, he fights through. And down inside the 15 he goes. Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. From the 5, here's 2nd and 2. They'll look to throw here. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawks touchdown. DK Metcalf with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down? I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here. We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around. Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you? You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Mitchell. And his first carry, he loses the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. And this one's incomplete. They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap. Flushed, and he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Samson Abukum able to get outside the numbers and drop him for a loss of a yard. And Myers able to knock it through, and that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them. Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's got to clear his mind a little bit right now. 1 carry, and that carry was a lost fumble. Clear his mind, clear. And he loses the football the 2nd time. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Escaping the pressure right. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end.
Here we go. Here we go.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. D.J. Jones. Coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9. He'll look to throw. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. The Seahawks on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Returning right back to Lockett. And the Seahawks are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everything.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
We know that the big guys won't get the credit, Brandon, but we also know that that touchdown belongs to them. Excellent job of clearing the way for their running back.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And ball security has been a big issue. You see the numbers there. He's fumbled twice already.
And whenever we talk about ball security, it's not simply how you're holding the ball when you run it. It's all the other things that you do. Is it in the proper arm, meaning the sideline is protecting you? Are you dipping a shoulder to protect the ball as well? And obviously the 4 points of pressure to make sure it's tucked firmly against your body so people can't pop it out.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now Garoppolo. And that'll be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
56, Mike.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here comes the 49ers punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Now it's Lockett. All told, a 54-yard punt, 13 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. It's a big play there for Seattle. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shot.
And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. The coverage good, the pressure good, leads to the sack, and it's 3rd and goal now. A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be 4th and goal. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. They'll go with a keeper. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 16 on the season. And the Seahawks are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And a rout is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble to bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before and realize it hasn't worked so well. And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault.
And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And the Seahawks have recovered. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free. Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think that you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line... Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. There he goes, right side. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball. No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Garoppolo to throw. That is caught by the tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle, his first touchdown on the year. And the 49ers get a score closer. Gold with the extra point, and the lead now down to 20. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Dwayne Eskridge elects to bring it out. Now a hit and a loose football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down. It shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 67 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. That one taken in by Dwayne Eskridge. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now he dumps this off over the middle. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll set up to throw. Flush to his right. Catch is made by Metcalf. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 28. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And he'll give it here to his running back. Give him 7 yards on the carry, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. It's their quarterback with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Myers connects on the PAT. And a route is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. Garoppolo on 1st down. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Samson Abuka picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Flushed out right. Hard throw, incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they'll start from their own 5, so you'd have to imagine they'll stay conservative. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So we've come upon halftime. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Now a play fake here on first down. He lets it fly for Lockett. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 88 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. He'll let this go for the end zone. And he finds Lockett in the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that will extend this big lead.
Michael Dixon, the kickoff for Seattle.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
They'll try the left side. It's Mitchell, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play that time on the catch and run. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Now back to throw. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Looks like a 9-yard loss. And it also brings up 4th. And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On 2nd down, it's Mitchell. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Right there, 54, right there.
On 2nd down now, it's Mitchell. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. They'll find Ayuk open right side. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Seahawks have picked it up.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Inside 4 minutes to go. 3rd quarter. 2nd and 5. And that is incomplete. Nearly intercepted. The free safety couldn't quite get his hands around it, and it brings up 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good, soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another 1st down.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. On play action, they'll throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
We got this.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. The quick slant caught.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And this Seahawks offense continues to pour it on. Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it now, because you're exactly right.
Like that,
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the 1st down marker, and now it's 3rd down. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And now Garoppolo lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And he finds Lockett in the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. To throw is Garoppolo. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Garoppolo looks to throw. The same target, same result. It's Kittle. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there. Couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
Garoppolo's throw pulled in by Kittle. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 30. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Throwing now is Garoppolo. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And that's going to be incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Open man is Ayuk, complete. Now the ball comes loose. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 20-yard line. They'll run on 1st down. Mitchell. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
21, 65.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Garoppolo now. The quick slant caught. Touchdown 49ers. George Kittle, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the 49ers get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
My old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
Gold able to tack on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. This one fielded at the 5. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. The 49ers get there. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. Out to the right, he gets it to Lockett. And he'll be out right at the 35. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down, and he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a 1st down.
Broke the 1 tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. Room to run past midfield. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. How about that? Their quarterback 65 yards. And the Seahawks are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this fourth quarter advantage. Well, they just continue to roll. And, Charles, for you and I, we want the close games, but for them, it has to be so nice to enjoy this big cushion.
I can't remember the last time we saw them play this loose and have this much fun. I think they'd love to be able to capture this game, carry it with them from week to week, and be able to execute like this in all the rest of their games.
Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So that drive, 4 plays. And a long run there in the end to top it off. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And we see James. He will now return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking...
Now Garoppolo is in trouble, and down he goes. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second. And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And notice you used the word sparked, because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Garoppolo. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. The Niners on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15.
Right here, right here.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And returns it right back to Samuel. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Wishnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. DK Metcalf for the Seattle offense about set to take over once again. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting...
They've got his man complete.
You ain't got no feet.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. You can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to. Because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And we see James. He will now return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and walk it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory.
161 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us, we're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Picked off by Jamal Adams.
And the Seahawks come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Seahawks, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they'll return home next week to take on the LA Rams. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll try to rebound next week